Hey everyone, my name is Tishia and I'm the Operational Director for FRC Team 6479. In today's video, we're going to be installing the JDK and Eclipse and writing our first program, Hello World. So before we begin, let's just go over what JDK means. JDK stands for Java Development Kit, and it basically allows us to write code in Java and be able to compile and run it within Eclipse. And Eclipse is an example or another type of IDE. And IDE is basically the environment where you can write Java code and be able to compile and run it. Cool, so regardless of whether you're on a Mac or Windows, go ahead and open your terminal, or if you're on a Windows, open your command prompt. And let's just check what version of Java we have installed, if we even do. And on both type Windows or Mac, you can just type Java-version. And it's either going to give you some kind of version over here, in this case I have it installed, or it might give you some kind of error. And if it gives you an error, don't worry about it. We're going to be going through and installing JDK. But if it doesn't give you an error, then you can probably skip the next couple minutes of the video and get into where we install Eclipse. Alright, so let's download the JDK. We're going to use OpenJDK. You can search up adopt OpenJDK download. Now typically the actual company that's kind of like the gatekeepers of Java is Oracle. And if you search up Oracle JDK download, while it is free and everything, it does ask you to make an account and put in a bunch of personal information like your phone number and all that. So instead, this is a pretty reliable way where you don't have to do all that. You can just download it. And a lot of people have used this, so don't worry about it. We're going to be using JDK 11. When we write robot code, we also use JDK 11. JDK 8 for a really long time was kind of the staple, but it's starting to get a little outdated. So you can go ahead and download it. Make sure that it's the correct operating system. So if you're on a Windows, it should say Windows 64-bit or whatever. And if you scroll down, I'm sure you can find it. In this case, it knows I'm on a Mac, so I'm just going to be downloading this. Alrighty, once it's installed, you can navigate to either your File Explorer or your Finder if you're on a Mac, and you can go to Downloads. And here you'll see OpenJDK. It should be a .package extension. So we can double click on that, and it's going to open your installer. So we can just go ahead and click Continue. The agreement is pretty standard, and we want to agree with it. Make sure you have enough space, and we'll install. Now you're probably going to need an admin password. If you are an admin, then you can type it, but if you're not, just make sure you know the credentials. Cool, and now it's installed. So we can close that, and you can just throw it away or keep it. It's up to you. Alright, so we've got our JDK downloaded. That means we have our runtime environment, some of the tools we need for Java as well as Java itself on our computer. That's a great start. So now the next thing we want to do is install our IDE, and this is where we're going to be writing all our code. So we can search up Eclipse download. And you can click on the first link right over there and click download 64-bit. Again, make sure that it's the correct kind of operating system. So in this case, again, it knows I'm on a Mac. If you're on a Windows, then it should say Windows. And then click download. Just follow the instructions. They're super straightforward, just like the JDK download. And once you have it downloaded, you can go ahead and either spotlight search if you're on a Mac or just search on the bottom with Windows. If you search up Eclipse, it'll open up. So we're going to open it. Your version might be newer or older than mine. It doesn't make a huge difference. We're going to open Eclipse, and once it opens, it's going to ask us to set our workspace. So by default, it's giving us this, it's creating a folder over here. You can click Browse and choose an existing folder, like if you have a programming folder or something like that, or you can choose the default, whatever you want. And we're going to click Launch. And the workspace is basically where all your code, your kind of environment is going to be stored. Awesome, so once Eclipse opens, we've got our welcome screen here, and we can use the Hello World guided walkthrough, but let's just do this step by step by ourselves. So go ahead and close that screen, and we're going to start off by creating a Java project. So you can either click on the Create a Java Project, or if you don't see that, you can also do File, New Java Project. And for this first one, we're just going to name it Hello World. And make sure here it says, Java SE 11. And if you're having any issues with that, you might want to maybe restart your computer. And if that doesn't work, then maybe try Googling it and seeing what happened. But it shouldn't be an issue since we already installed the JDK, which includes the JRE, or the Java Runtime Environment. All right, so click Finish. And it's going to give us, Java 11 is a little different in that it uses modules. So in this case, we want the H to be capitalized. Okay. So we're not going to worry too much about the module just yet. For now, we're going to go to this, select the source folder, right click on it, and make a new package. And we're going to name this Hello World, also with a lowercase h. And then within our package, we can just close that. We're going to make our new class. And so this is where all of our code is going to go. And by convention, classes start with a capital letter. And then you're going to want to select this method stub right here. So here it says, which method stubs would you like to create? We're going to want the public static void main string args. And we're going to be going over that in future videos of what that really means and why it's important. But for now, just know this is where we're going to be writing a lot of our code. Cool, so let's write our first piece of code. We're going to type system.out.println, parentheses, quotes, hello world. And then at the end of your statement, a semicolon. And then you're going to want to save that. You can do Command S or Control S if you're on Windows. And up here, navigate to the green button, like the green play button, and you can click on it. And we'll see here in the console, it prints out Hello World. Within the string, we can change it to whatever we want. So my name is Tisha, so maybe I'll change it to Tisha. And then I'll run it, and it's going to say Hello Tisha. Awesome, we just installed JDK, installed Eclipse, set it all up, and wrote our first program in Java. I'll see you guys in the next video.